once again, we say happy anniversary to living legend, my brethren, Donovan Bailey Running Things. 30 years ago to the day, the man put his name atop the list. The fastest human on the planet actually recorded a top end speed of 43.6 kilometers an hour. No human at that time had gone any faster. And man, oh man, what a thrill it was, DB. Congratulations. Happy anniversary. Did you even realize today was the day? Of course, you must have known today was the day.
Well, thank you, Sir Jason. Yeah, you know what? I mean, you know what? I'm very fortunate. First of all, thank you for that. I'm very fortunate to be reminded by the incredible fans, track and field fans around the world, that my anniversary was coming up, and they're DMing me and sending clips and all kinds of stuff, and still telling me kind of what they were doing, and the reminders of what it meant to them. And certainly it's always good to share what it meant to me. Also, an incredible time in life when you become the greatest in the history of the world. A dream that I probably the success was instilled in me by my parents, but certainly I didn't dream I'd be that great. So it's always good to have great fans that remind me of how important July 27th is and what they were doing 30 years ago today. Wow, dude, that's crazy.
It is. Let's break down the race. You were notoriously not the fastest of starters, but you're, living proof. It's how you finish. It's not how you start. So you gave them a jump. Take us through the race. We heard the call. The last words out of the mouth before we heard Donovan Bailey was actually Otto Bolden, but he was third. Namibia's Frankie Fredericks was second. But take us through the race, and at what point did you realize, hey, I got this?
Simple execution, my boy. Simple execution. I mean, one of the things that Dan Paff teaches you is that you must run your own race. And yes, notoriously, I've been a very inconsistent starter. So obviously, one of the things I want to do was utilize the consistent start of guys like Otto or Frankie or others that were in the race. I knew that my top end speed was much faster than anyone that existed, much faster than anyone in the race. So I knew that regardless of the mistakes that I made in the first 30 meters out of the blocks, I knew that if I just stayed within my focus and concentration, that when I hit top speed, I would pass those guys. I'd been doing it all season anyways. So yeah. For me, for me, it was kind of taking advantage of the opportunity, but also executing and also running my own race. I mean, I speak to a lot of the kids now that are competing. I mean, I point to someone like Noah Lyles. A lot of people, see Noah, and maybe Noah is probably more famous for some of the off track, like personality stuff. But I love
Right.
Noah. I think that Noah executes every single time that he races. So as a consummate professional, he understands his own race. So you see him come out of the blocks, he gets in his drive phase. Don't worry about it. You get
Right.
the top end speed, and then you relax going home. If you relax going home, the line is going to come to you. You don't need to come to it. And really, 30 years ago, again, these were the things that Dan and I discussed, and that's what allowed me to be, the greatest on earth, the greatest in history. And I'm very blessed to have had that title and to still be regarded as one of the greatest that ever lived on earth. So for me,
Yeah.
yeah, man, thanks for the opening of that. But yeah, I mean, for me, to your question, it's all about consistency and running your own race, staying in your own lane.
Yep. And we're blessed to have you and to be a part of this podcast. And it's and most importantly, calling you a friend, a brethren. That's what means the most. You hit the stripe. You realize what you've just accomplished. What's the first thought that goes through your head?
Well, according to my book, it says that I said cha-ching, which was money. Um, but yeah, you know what? It was the first thing that went through my head. I got to tell you, the first thing that went to my, yes, I understand that, in individual sports, especially in track and field, a lot of your income is obviously contracts are tied
Right.
to goals, and one of the goals certainly was the Olympic Championship. So I didn't even realize that I broke the world record. But the first thing I thought about was how terrible my first 50 meter, 30 meters was. And that's actually when you're so focused and so much in the zone, the thoughts are always, what could I improve upon, or what could I do better the next time? So the first thought was, oh my God, it was a terrible first 30, right? Looked at the clock and then realized I was the world record holder. But yeah, the first thought is always, how can I improve next time? And that's kind of like that's the mindset of every single individual athlete. What can I do next time? What can I do better next time? So that was one of them. One was certainly that I hit my markers and goals and contracts, but the other one B certainly was, who how can I get to that next place where I can then run much faster.
Going into the race, I know you have to beat everybody. I get it. But is there one guy in particular you're kind of focused on? Was it Frankie? Was it Otto? I know Linford DQ'd, but just going in, was there one guy you focused on, or just said no, you're just gonna do your thing?
Dude, I gotta tell you this. I mean, none of them. But I have to say,
Okay.
none of those guys. But I have to tell you though, the four names you just mentioned have all the respect in the world for them. I mean, you know
Mm,
that they're gonna bring it. They're gonna bring it every single time. I mean,
right.
I knew that what my capabilities were. I knew what the preparation was. I knew what the year looked like going into Atlanta. But I was on. I mean, you respect them, but they're not gonna beat you. And that's kind of how it is. I mean, it's Linford was reigning champion from '92.
Right.
Um, Frankie was running well. Otto was running well. But I mean, I know the capabilities of those guys based upon my season going into Atlanta. It was my race to lose.
Your race lose. You did not do that. Do you realize what you did for the country of Canada, the nation? Because you think of track and field, obviously, Island of Jamaica comes to mind, the United States, but Canada was never really known as a sprinting nation. But that all changed once you won this race. So do you realize just how big of an accomplishment this was? Not just for yourself, not just for your family, your friends, but for the entire country.
Dude, listen. First of all, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, coming off the heels of Ben,
Mm,
there's just a whole lot of negativity. There's a whole lot of
yes.
negativity that was out
Good
there.
point.
And so for me, when I started, which was 2 years before Atlanta, when I started full time, I understood. Maybe I didn't quite get it, but I understood the weight of what it was going to be to carry a country, carry a sport, carry a culture, and that's just to name a few, right? So
Right.
I understood all, Jason. I understood all of those things. I knew that it was going to be heavy. I knew that I was going to get criticism for what someone else did. I knew I was never going to blame him for anything. It is what it is. And in fact, in my book Undisputed, I talk about Ben also being a victim himself. But I knew that I first of all, my responsibility was to take care of myself and prepare myself drug free and to be the greatest on earth. I knew that there was a lot of kids around the world actually that
Right.
were wanting to be number one in the world. I knew that. So
Mhm.
so I understood that that was my audience. There was fans probably had negative feelings about the sport. My job was to change their minds. So anytime I stepped in front of the mic, in front of the media, I understood where my platform was. So I had to be an educator to the public, but also a role model to the kids. And also, my daughter was 2 at the time. So again, I'm then a father. So I'm carrying a whole lot of weight. But you know what?
Right.
I embraced it. It is what it is. Um, and you know what? All is well and all went well. You know, So I knew that my upbringing, my support system allowed me to do all the things I need to do and be completely transparent and honest about everything.
Last thing I want to talk about the time 984. I mean, you fast forward from then to now, 30 years. It's still a hell of a number. I mean, Kayansola Ajayi runs a 9.84 this year. That's third fastest in 2026. I mean, you think about how times and things have changed, whether it be nutrition, the different training techniques, whether it be the spikes, the equipment, like a lot has changed. So, I mean, 9.84 back then is unbelievably quick. It's still fast to this day.
Dude, well, again, thanks for that. I mean, this is, you know what, all of the, I mean, Einsola, 984 is a diamond league. I mean, I was winning diamond leagues running 9.9 high, whatever.
Right.
But the thing is, I did that at the Olympic Games, and one of the things that the fellas and I talk about quite often is that 984 today, 30 years later, is still getting me to the podium. It's still getting me to the podium, man.
Exactly.
I mean, and it's still getting me to the podium with, 30 years ago, no technology or less. Well, no, there's no technology, less technology.
Yes.
The track, training systems, rest days, mental health help, like whatever it is. But at the end of the day, dude, I mean, it's still the Canadian record. I'm expecting that one of these young cats that are doing it get to it sooner rather than later. I hope that one of them get to be a world record holder like I was, or the number one sprinter in the world like I was. But yeah, 984 still to this day at a major championships is going to get you on the podium. So, at the end of the day, I'll say great coaching by Dan and great support by my crew, Mark Lindsay, and certainly my training partners. But yeah, man, you know what? To your point, 984 is my number. When I ran that, it was the fastest time in the history of the world, and it is what it is. It's still the Canadian record. It's still on the books, and you know what? Let the kids go after it. My responsibility now, as as the legend sitting in the corner, is to cheer on all these guys for them to do great things.
You look the same, just like you did 30 years ago. Look over your right shoulder. Look over that right shoulder. You look over your right shoulder. That's you right there. Where's that bib number, by the way? You still got it?
I don't look like that. No, actually, the bib number is at the museum in Gatineau, Quebec. So everyone go out and you can go out and actually visit that uniform in Gatineau.
Cool. That's
at the museum.
Cool, man. Yes. Well, congratulations. And back then, another thing you didn't have, analytics. So you had, so many things that are available to you now that you didn't have back then. Congratulations, man. Happy anniversary, bro. That is something that'll never be taken away. 30 years of greatness. We continue to salute you and commemorate all the achievements that you have done, both on and off the track. And the happiest of anniversaries, man. So we will go on with the rest of the show, though, right?
Let's get it. Let's get it, man.
All right. We can do that. Yeah, we do got work to do because we're going to be talking a little USA track and field outdoor championships. We're going to talk about the Commonwealth Games, which are nicely underway in Glasgow, Scotland. We'll take a look at a few other odds and ends as part of our anchor leg. But our race of the week, kind of our second race of the week, because that was our race of the week. Donovan Bailey winning Olympic gold back in 1996 with a 9.84. But our other race of the week, Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles doing Noah Lyles things. This is what he did in the 100 at the Icon Stadium in New York. Our race of the week brought to us by Biopods, a chance to empower your every step. Noah Lyles, he didn't start the fastest, but like Bailey, he finished first.
Set. Men's final away. Good start, Benaric. Good start, Coleman. Here comes Noah. Lyles winds up. Lyles wins the national title. 9.78.
Officially 9.79. So Noah gets a third 100-meter national title. He runs that 9.79, same number that he ran when capturing the Paris Games in 2024. And, I've always, and I still do, DB, think of Noah as a 200 guy, but he's looking pretty good in the 100. What's your thoughts on the effort?
Well, I mean, I said it earlier. Noah has been a consummate professional. Noah Lyles, he has his race model. He knows his race model,
Right.
and he's one of the most consistent guys with his race model. He executes exactly how he's supposed to in his race, right? And that's what's allowing him to maintain success uh, over year, right? Um, I love the fact in this race. I love the fact that Kristen Coleman is kind of getting his race model back. His stature is a little different. He's fat. He's a faster starter, but I love that he's actually back into that space where he's understanding how he should execute, right? Um, but man, you can't. I mean, Bednarik is the same. Bednarik,
Mm-hmm.
his power, speed, and top end speed's obviously different than both Noah and Christian. But back to Noah. I mean, the consistency is fantastic, man. I mean, and he understands. He knows where he is. Um, first, second, third step out of his driving phase, out of his drive phase. Like he knows he's so very comfortable around, when he's in the vortex, when he's right in the middle of the track with everybody. And so you gotta give it up to Noah, man. It's phenomenal win. This is basically his major championship for the year,
Yeah.
although he's probably going to go to the Ultimate Championships. But to go and win at the national championships in the U.S. is like winning any major championships, anyways, because you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
have to run the time. You got to
Mm-hmm.
run the time. You got to run a proper semifinals. You are competing against Americans who essentially can can represent any country and like be good enough to represent any country at any major championships. So man, congratulations, Noah. Phenomenal
Yeah.
run. And again, as a consummate professional on the track, consistency is the key.
Yeah, technically, let's break down his race. Is this the best you think he's looked maybe ever? I mean, he ran a 9.76 DB in the semis. I know it didn't count because, well, I mean, it counts, but the win was 2.1, so barely above a legal 2 second mark, but a 9.76 in the semis, and then he runs that 9.79. Just, I want to get your thoughts on how he's looking technically in terms of
Well,
his race.
let's forget about the times,
Okay.
right? Let's forget about the times. And if you're gonna be an observer, I mean, I'm an observer of the sport. I think that I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, we'll give you
If
that.
you, if you, yeah, like I'm just saying to you that the consistency of his drive phase and his top speed will always allow him to execute his own race. If when you watch Oblique Seville or Kashane, when you watch all the top sprinters, every single the nuances of the 100 meters, every single one of those athletes have their own way and their own execution. All of them individually. Like it's almost like you have individual athletes, and this is customized to each of them. Noah is one of the most consistent athletes. Noah, okay, remember how consistent like someone like Asafa was, Mr.
Right.
The
Yeah.
sub 10 king of the world, right?
Right. Right.
Noah is in a space and in a zone today that allows him to run the same race. So from an execution perspective is what you're asking. How does he look? Dude, he's consistent.
Mm.
Like here's the thing. He is hellified fast now, right? He's consistent and always has been consistent. So he's spending a whole lot of time right now just executing things, just getting it there. If he's taking the US championships, if he's taking the US championships as the major championships this year, then he showed that he's ready. Now, maybe the ultimate championships is what he wants to do, something significant there. He's not going to run 9.58, but he's the most consistent guy. And also it's showing that Noah Lyles is ready. He's ready for 2027. So he's ready for the world championships this year by the consistency of what he's doing. Remember, you and I talked about how Melissa Jefferson was last year, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely consistent, the same race pattern, everything, stride pattern, like everything. like just the to the smallest degree, and that's what Noah is right now. I don't know if you got
Yeah.
your answer, but that's mine.
Yeah, no, I got my answer. I got my answer. I mean, he looks really good and he's having fun. That's the best part about all of this. He's having fun. He says, just wait till next year, guys. You think this is scary now? Wait till next year. So, hey,
Love it.
anytime Noah talks, I definitely like to listen. You spoke of Kenny Bednarik, the defending champ from 2025. Ironically enough, ran the exact same 9.79 time to win in last season's outdoor championships. What about Ronnie Baker? The 32-year-old finished second, same 9.88 time as Kenny Bednarik. But we got to give Ronnie some love, do we not?
Well, I mean, imagine that. Imagine that Ronnie Baker's a veteran, dude. Wily
Yeah.
veteran. 9'8". Hey, listen, at this point, Ronnie has nothing to lose. Ronnie has never been at the top of the podium in the major championships. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe, like you said, Noah is very relaxed. Okay, Noah, okay, there's another thing that I want to add.
Okay.
Remember when I told you when I told you that Noah was getting married and Noah was doing all these things to balance his life?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. So this guy's
Right.
very balanced coming to the track. uh, on another note, someone like Ronnie, he is a veteran. Uh, he's got to lay everything out on the track or quit or retire. You know what I mean? So yes, congratulations to him too, dude. I mean, Ronnie got out. Like Ronnie has always been a major indoor runner. He's a 6'4" guy. We already know that. And man, he got out. Oh man, him and Christian got out. So you know what? Congratulations to him. You know what? Why not? Not a major championships for him. Maybe he'll get in and be at the Ultimate Challenge. He's got a couple of Diamond Leagues coming up. Maybe he can run the same way. Uh, but he's a vet, so he's on his last cycle. Maybe he'll make it to 2028. But great for him that he's running 9.8 at that age.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. Christian Coleman, man, he is a model of consistency, longevity. The 2019 champ, some 7 years ago, was still a part of the top four. So Noah Lyles, 9.79. That is a world lead that pushes the Jamaican Oblique Seville to now second in terms of the fastest in
For
2026
now.
of a 9.82. For now, exactly.
For now.
To be continued. To be continued. Ladies' side, Sha'Carri Richardson, dominant. Man, oh man, DB. So she gets, just like Noah, her third 100-meter national title. The fastest she went all of last year was a 10.94. She's gone 10.77 twice this year. Your thoughts on her effort and the way she was able to win?
Phenomenal. I mean, I like for me, I'm a huge support system for all of these um, track stars. Or sports stars, anyways. I want to be a consistent supporter, positive
Mm-hmm.
supporter. And I love the fact that Sha'Carri, we're talking about her running fast and winning. And she's been very consistent this year, you know? And so congratulations to her, man. Phenomenal. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that Sha'Carri is ready. Sha'Carri is ready for Melissa. I mean, I'm not saying she's gonna beat Melissa, but at
Right.
least she's gonna give her a good race. And Julian, I mean, and all like just imagine all the top female sprinters in the world right now. Sha'Carri's name is in it,
Yep.
and mixing it up with all of these other top women as one of the best in the world currently.
10.77. Kayla White second, 10.90, and Tamari Davis was third, 11 flat. But you know what I love the best about Sha'Carri? Hearing her after the race said that she is in a better place in terms
Perfect.
of being healthy, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Can we give her maybe the dark horse title? I know that Julian and Melissa are the top two, but she's kind of lurking in the weeds. If they slip up or if they stub their toe, I think she's the one that could benefit.
Dude, here's the thing. Track fans win. Track fans
Mm-hmm.
win
Yep.
because what you have is these incredible ladies at their best. So who wins? Track
Yep.
wins. The audience wins. TV wins. A sponsorship wins. So everybody wins, and that's all I'm cheering for.
Yes, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's move on. Men's 200. We're going to get to the guy who actually won the race in a second, but the bigger story was Noah Lyles top of the stretch, pulls up, and I thought, oh no, oh no. What's the first thing you thought when you saw him pull up?
You know what? You know what's funny? When I looked at it,
Right,
I think obviously you're gonna say, "Oh no, I hope he's not hurt," right?
right.
Uh,
What
but
part did you
but
think
but but, but
potentially though?
no. Listen, dude. Here's what happens. You have a
Okay,
guy. Here's what happens with the human body. He ran 297s back to back, Jason.
for
So if you
sure.
run
Yeah,
two
yeah.
nine sevens back to back, you're gonna go flat. I'm just saying to you, the body, the computer needs to reset, and you not necessarily rest, but you need something. You need some rest and therapy and all of that. But the
Right.
body shuts down for a little bit. So no, I didn't think he was hurt. I thought it was
Okay.
very smart on in Noah's case that
Right.
I mean, you saw when he got out of the blocks and came off the turn. He was very flat. He looked very flat. And
Right.
again, just thinking about someone who understands their body that much that he's like, it ain't worth me pressing just to
Right.
get a medal. Just
Hmm.
to get, I mean, he's already the 100-meter champion anyways. And we know
Right.
that the 200 meters always, the 200 meters is usually the consolation prize for a 100-meter sprinter. That's what it is. It is, I'm calling it as it is. And so
Okay.
smart for him just to shut it down, not to press it. I mean, it's not an ego thing, just to shut it down. And it's very smart for him. So at the end of the day, when you go back to back and you take your body to its limits, there is gonna be a lull. There's gonna be a flat, day or two or three where you have to reset the clock. And dude, that's what he did, man. So smart for him to pull up. He's got a season left to go. He wants to finish off all his contractual obligations. So good. Listen, good for him.
Yeah.
Smart for him to do, and that's great. You know, race management. It's just smart for him to
Hmm.
do. So that's what I'm saying. Congrats to Noah for actually understanding that. Shut it down if it's just going to cause an injury. Like if you
All
press,
right.
like, did I think he was going to win? Of course, I think so. I mean, when I looked at the field, the field
Right.
would put him as winner by far. Mostly a young field, but I mean, again, man, smart for him to shutting it down. Great for him.
Four-time world champ over the Deuce. Yeah, he was on his way to victory. That's his first loss in the Deuce going back to July of 2025. So that's crazy
If
to
you
think
count,
that he's
if
yeah,
you count,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. A year. I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. Okay, so we got to give Garrett Kalin some love here because he's a 22-year-old out of USC. He actually won the race in 2004. He's the first collegiate runner to win the national outdoor championship since Walter Dix back in 2008, I do believe. So don't want to take away from the kid because he did do well to win in 2004 as he was able to beat Max Thomas and Jordan Coleman. So, 20.4
Dude,
is still pretty good there for him, right?
well, listen. I mean, on the heels of an NCAA season,
Right.
you've got a young guy who is trying to establish himself, probably in a sport that he wants to at least give it a shot professionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got U.S. champion on his resume. I think that's incredible, dude. And also, what I did was after watching the race, I listened to his interview, and
Right.
and what I heard was a kid um, who seems mature,
Right.
who seems very well coached,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why he won was not worrying about the people in the race, but taking it round by round. And then when he got to the finals, he just ran his own race again. You know what I mean? So,
Yep. I hear it. Yep.
so I'm saying to you, congratulations to him. He's a U.S. champion. And I don't know if he's going to go on and do any other competitions for the rest of the year, but dude, he's got a title, and that's what this
Yeah.
is about. This
Exactly.
entire
Exactly.
sport's about titles. Golf, tennis, athletics, all about titles, regardless of what it is. And so him taking advantage of the opportunity, congratulations on that.
Yeah. And when I think of 20.04, quick enough to win. And as we said, first time it's a collegiate runner wins the men's 200 in 18 years. Speaking of young guns, quickly, Jackson Coyvin, I know I'm getting off topic here, but wins that golf event yesterday in his third start on the tour. Even Tiger took 5 starts to win. So just wanted to
Awesome.
squeeze.
The
That's
youths are
unbelievable
coming.
stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're going to have a segment that is called The Kids Are Here. Not the kids are
Right.
coming, the kids are here. Melissa
We can do that.
Jefferson. We can do that. Okay. Melissa Jefferson wins the 200. I was surprised at how close that race was until they fired the gun. I mean, she just absolutely crushed that field. I mean, that was, I don't want to say embarrassing, but that looked like a woman against girls.
Well, dude, Melissa's a killer, man. Melissa's a killer. Melissa is a killer. Like you cannot, whether it's the 100 or the 200 or whatever, 4x1,
Right.
Melissa is a killer. And you gotta respect her, man. Every time she shows up and lines up between the lines against her rivals, regardless of who they might be. You gotta respect her. And she murdered the corner. The corner was fantastic. I mean, Sturgis is an NCAA champion.
Yeah,
So
I
again,
respect her.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not running against slouches here. And she's a killer. And there's no way that you can ever avoid making her favorite in any race that she's in. But phenomenal. Congratulations to her too. So in preparation for her year, the consistency continues.
Yep.
And her job is done at the Nationals, and then she's going to be off the Diamond League, and then she's going to be up against the best other people in the world. So that's going to be fun.
We got more on that coming up inside the anchor leg. She runs a 21:69, which is
Yeah.
1/100th off of her winning time from last year's World. So yeah, she is in fine form. Sturgis second back in 22-22. So it was a chasm back to second and third. Cameron Dixon. Before we get to that anchor leg, Commonwealth Games are underway. Obviously, Canada hoping to do some pretty good things on the track. I think that's the sport we're all looking forward to the most. As of right now, I can tell you Canada's got 11 medals. Australia is way out in front with 40. 17 of those of the gold variety. No other nation has even hit double digits in gold medals. So Australia just absolutely crushing it right now. But, maybe just take us through Canada's journey in terms of track and field. I spoke of the 4x1. We've got some runners that are going in the 100 and the deuce as well, both for the men and the ladies.
Well, I mean, the Commonwealth is again, we're talking about titles, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Commonwealth is a regional championships where a lot of the kids trying to make it should utilize their opportunity and get the gold, bring it home, first title. So obviously I'm cheering on the entire Canadian team, but you know what, I'm Ellie Jigby is I'm part of his team where I'm helping his coach, and team to kind of navigate the world of professional track and field. I hope that he does well. Dwayne Osmoda, I hope he does great also. I don't know who else is running the 100 meters, maybe Jerome. So whatever it is, these guys who are not established stars in the world need to capitalize on the opportunity that they have now, right?
Yes.
For the 4x1 relay team is there. I expect that we win the gold. I expect it. All right. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're reigning international champ in Olympics or World Championships, and then you go to the Commonwealth Games, you better bring back the gold. It is what it is. For the ladies, I really like this championships for our ladies, for Audrey LeDuc and Sade McCreath. I mean, I think that there's an opportunity that if Sade's excellent first 30, 40 meters, excellent. And if she relaxes going home and she runs another 10.8, that's good enough to win, right? We also know that Audrey LeDuc is one of the top sprinters in the world. And if she executes well, we know that she's also a gamer. So in any major championships, she's going to show up and she's going to be ready to compete against any of these other ladies. Her top speed probably could equal most of the athletes, if not all of the female sprinters running this year. I hope that both of them go through, make it to the finals, leave it on the line, make it to the podium, win. Right? The ladies also are going to be phenomenal in the 4x1. We know that the Jamaicans are there, the British are there. Like, we don't even want to talk. I mean, obviously, I'm addressing the Commonwealth team from Canada because we
Right.
know that South Africa, all the African countries, England, the Caribbean, we know that they're sending their best, or maybe their second best, to win medals. Just like you're talking about the Australians. The Australians are in this to crush everybody. That's why they're there. But I think the Canadian team overall is going to do good. Our throwers are going to knock it. I mean, Ethan is going to win gold. Carmen's going to win. I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
Our throwing team is the best in the world. We know that. So they're
Yes.
going to be.
Yes.
I think that's going to be gold. And do it our sprint team. I expect to be at the top of the podium as well.
Yep. I agree with everything you said there. Yeah, Cameron and Ethan are just like in a world of their own. Just quickly want to update our viewers and listeners onto some of the action that's taken place earlier today. In terms of Canadians, Dwayne Asamoto qualified for the semis with a time of 10:16. He was second in his heat behind Jeremiah Azu. I do believe it was last year he was a 60-meter indoor champion. So good news there. Rohan Watson of a Jamaican ran a 10:13. He qualified. Elliot Jibby, unfortunately, with a 10:31 DB, does not move on.
Yeah, he's got. I was on a chat. Or I'm getting messages now. Anyways,
Okay.
he's got a fracture. He's got a fracture in his arm. So niggling pain. And you got to be completely ready when you are running a competition that you don't have a whole lot of room to make mistakes. So he has an injury. I understand what the injury is. He's getting treatment from the doctors. He's in the right place because the team doctors and physios are there on site, so he can get 24-hour care. He can just wrap it up, and we'll figure out what's going to happen. But Ellie's going to be all right. 992 earlier this season. Has an injury now, but he's tough enough, man. We're going to get him there.
Okay. I do want to mention Ajayi, who's trying to become the first Nigerian in the history of the Commonwealth Games to win the men's 100 at 96 years of competition dating back to 1930. Hamilton,
Wow.
Ontario, the Steel City. So, yeah, he's trying to become the first to do it for Nigeria. Ajayi, Blake from Canada, Omanyala, Esme, Kennedy, Leila, Ocon, and Blake all got buys right to the semis, in case you're wondering where those names are. On the ladies' side, in terms of the 100 meters, I do want to mention Gabrielle Cole of Canada moved through with an 11:48. Sade McCreath runs an 11:33 DB. She, too, is moving on to the semis.
Okay, good. And Audrey LeDuc, right? Oh, she got a bye.
Audrey LeDuc is one of those names I want to mention that gets a bye right to the women's semifinals.
Yes, good. Perfect.
Yeah. So she definitely moves on. And also moving through, I can let you know on the women's side, Adeja Hodge, Amy Hunt, Jodine Williams, as well as Jonelle Smith in terms of the Jamaicans. So we are going to get
Hodge. Wow,
yes,
dude. I forgot
Hodge,
that she's competing.
Yes,
I actually forgot that she's at the Commonwealth Games. Oh, that's going to be fire.
It's going to be hot.
That women's race is going to be fire, my brother.
It's going to be hot. So we're looking forward to that. And then we'll get to the 200 as well. We got some other runners as well that I got buys right through to that semifinal. Okay, got to move on. Let's get to the anchor leg and run that and wrap things up.
A cleaning save to Donovan Bailey is pouring it on.
Also want to wrap things up, DB, in terms of the USA Track and Field Outdoor Championships. 17-year-old Cooper Lukenhaus wins the 800 meters. He wins in a time of 1:43.48 DB. He put on a 200-meter burst that shouldn't be possible when you're running an 800 like that. He won by over a second.
He's 18, dude. He's a teenager. What are you talking about?
18 this year. I know. And he's going back to school. He's going back to school, so that's it for him for the rest of the year. Race of the weekend, Cordell Tinch finishes in a tie. So they both ran exactly 13 seconds. That goes to show you just how quickly they ran. I think it was 4/100th of a second to separate the two runners there. So
For
congratulations.
1,000th of a second.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Oh, yeah, that's good.
just trying to look to see who was tied with again. It was Bradley Franklin, and then Smallwood was third. Got to talk about the DQ of Justin Robinson, because that was heartbreaking. I mean, here's a man who ran a hell of a race in the 400, ran down 2 or 3 guys that were up ahead of him, and I was like, man, what an effort. Congratulations. Then DB, they DQ'd him. It's the right call, but man, that's frustrating.
What was the call?
You can step on the line once when you're running a race with a bend,
right.
whether it be the 2 or the 4. You can step on the line once. I think it's USATF rule 165.3. I forget the letter. I think it's A. So you can run on the line and touch it once. But if you touch it multiple times, you're DQ'd. And at least 3 times around the final bend, he touched the line to his left, obviously. And they're thinking that gains an advantage. So he finished first, but he was DQ'd and placed last.
Here's the thing. I can't imagine this. I've ran 2 quarters in my life. And I know I went right to the edge of death when I ran both of those, right? So right. I cannot imagine. I mean, I recognize these guys are also, the best speed endurance quarter milers in the world, right?
Right.
But I can't imagine that I could run a quarter, and then I have to focus on staying on the line, and then I run all of that way, winning a major championships, and you DQ me because I went a quarter of an inch. A quarter of an inch, dude. I mean, that's because that's probably what it rounds out to. Because if he didn't go into the lane to impede,
stepped on the line.
But if you didn't go inside of the lane, across the line to impede, I mean, dude, I get the rules. I understand the rules.
Right.
But I can't imagine how devastating that would be, that you missed out on a major championships, probably some money. But you've laid everything out that you possibly humanly can.
Yep.
And get nothing.
Just it happened to Canada's relay team, right? Back in the day,
right.
don't ask me what year, but I remember them getting DQ'd as well for the same type thing, right? So I mean, it does happen.
Here's the thing for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I think in the sprints it's different because you clearly, I mean, you kind of get yourself. You get yourself wired so you know exactly where you need to go. In the 100 meters, it's you don't really step out because it's a straight line. In the deuce, I understand that. If you're running a 4x1 relay, you can keep it tight on the corner because you get used to it, and there's a precision in which you're used to like going at that velocity and like cutting the corner. But I'm saying to you, dude, if you run the quarter, if you run the 400. You're dealing with a whole lot of other problems because you're turning the corner and there's a big bear on your back, and you're breathing and lactic acid, and someone's trying to get up on you, and there's all that stuff going on. So, anyways, you know what? That sucks, but it is the rules.
Yeah.
So let's hope that this is a motivation for him to come back and do better next time.
Yeah. So I'm just looking it up right here. It is Rule 163.5 D. And it says, you can do it once. You do it more than once, you're automatically DQ'd. It was Canada during the 2012 Olympics in London. Jared Connaughton, third leg, stepped on the line. Remember that? So
I remember that kid. I remember that kid stepping on the line. Exactly.
Right. Rules. It'd be a lot easier without them, right? Anyways, I want to get your quick take on this. Melissa, reigning world champ, against Julian, reigning Olympic champ. We're going to get them together at the end of August in Zurich.
Fireworks. Yes. Fireworks. Who wins? Fireworks. Right now, listen. Julian's been sitting in the cut. Julian did not have to go back to St. Lucia to do a national championships because they don't need to, right? And then of course you see what Melissa's been doing. So man, that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice. I ain't picking nobody. I ain't picking nobody. But it's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be nice. Here's the thing, Jake. You've got 2 killers going up against each other with 2 different racing styles, right? So it's huge. It is going to be the woman who executes her race model best. That's who's going to win.
Fair enough. Last Monday, after we taped, You reached out to me and you said, "Hey, did we miss Walanda?" And I said, "No, we didn't. It happened after we were done." So the 20-year-old Bayanda Walaza, he is now the fastest South African in 2026. He ran a 9.89. South African, hey, they could put together a nice little 4x1 team, right? You think of Leo Lela, Simbine, you know?
They have they have an amazing 4x1 team.
Mm-hmm.
And they can go man versus man. They can match up against any relay in the world, any right now, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm actually surprised that Walaza. First of all, I love the kid, under 20 champion. He U20 champion, 989. That's a serious time, dude. It's a serious time. It's a serious time in Europe this time of year. It's incredible. I'm actually surprised that he's not in Glasgow because he was one of those kids that I thought would be going for the next title. He's got U20, so obviously the next step is it would have been the Commonwealth Games. But clearly, this kid and his team or coaches or whatever is saying we're gonna skip the Commonwealth Games, bro. We're going right for the big dogs. We're going right for everybody. And 989 is dropping serious time. So, man, that's fantastic. Fantastic time.
Yep. We'll hear more from him, even though he's not at the Commonwealth Games. You know that for sure. We will hear more from him. And the final word, one of our subscribers, Mr. HMD, reached out and he said, "Hey guys, love the show. Appreciate that. Are there more sub 10 times today than any other era?" The answer in a word is yes. We've had 47 athletes run sub 10 this year. 47. Don't forget, you spoke of Asafa. He ran 97 sub 10s over his career, but we have 47 different athletes, DB, that have gone sub 10 this year. It's the most in any season of racing ever.
Well, that's expected, man. Kids are bigger, stronger, faster. You're certainly getting help technologically. The track is different. Nutrition is different. I mean, this is not saying that the guys that were in my era or before or after are not as good as these kids competing today. Because it's kind of like the Jordan versus LeBron thing. I would pull out my guys. I mean, except for someone like Bolt, who is just on another level, right? Yes. I mean, I would pull out some of those guys from my era or after or even before that can go up with the same, obviously with the same support and all the things that they have today. I would pull out some of those guys like, yeah, man, we're going to put together 4 guys or 8 guys or 10 guys that will go up against anybody that's competing today. That I do understand. But again, training is different now. Training is just different. I don't know about harder, but it's just different. There's a whole lot of athletes that probably overtrained back in my day. Some were nutritional wise. People were working full time as well as competing full time. There's a whole lot of things. There's no excuses because we all know that regardless of what happens in life, evolution is going to take you to a different place. So there are a lot of incredible athletes today, probably no different than when we were competing, but clearly there's more assistance and support if we're talking about 2026, there's certainly a hell of a lot more assistance today than it was, many years ago.
Yeah. Previous best 38 sub 10 times in terms of the 100. Right. That was last year in 2025. Whew, covered a lot of ground, my man. That puts a wrap on season 6, episode 21 of Donovan Bailey Running Things. As always, we please ask that you continue to like, share, follow, download, subscribe, comment, be a part of this podcast. That's why we do this for you. My happy anniversary, brethren. Enjoyed it as always. All of you out there, thank you for the company. I'm Jason Portuondo. Mr. Anniversary, take us out.
Thank you very much. Subscribe. Until next time, peace out.